Hello, welcome to Sammy Spotlight. I am your host, Austin Patrick. Today we are joined by Cats in Support of Shelters, an organization at SAM who works with our local animal shelter, Rita B. Huff Adoption Center. How are y'all doing?
Doing good. Doing good.
So would you like to introduce yourself and your position within the club?
Yes, my name is Abigail Asher, and I'm the president.
My name's Irene Salvador, and I'm the vice president.
My name is Alyssa Linares, and I'm the business coordinator.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So what is KISS?
So Cats in Support of Shelters, our main goal is just to support Rita B. Huff in any way that we can. So whether it's through fundraisers, whether it's through raising awareness, volunteering efforts, we collaborate with other community organizations and student organizations just to really try to get the word out that the dogs and cats are up for adoption at the shelter.
So what made y'all want to join the organization and help Rita B. Huffman?
I wanted to join because I needed friends. I was my freshman year, I joined, and then I've been in here ever since. And I've wanted to work with the dogs at the animal shelter. So.
I would also say that I joined to make more friends in my freshman year, but also just to kind of get more experience in that, like exposure to that setting. And, you know, we all love dogs, so I mean, it's a kind of win-win to go and like help them out. So that's kind of why I joined.
Yeah, I would say we're all in the same boat. I joined my first semester here at Sam Houston. I didn't really know anybody. I was from a different town, and then I transferred in from a community college, and I just needed community. So I joined Cats in Support of Shelters, and I met those two.
And then, so did you all meet at the same meeting, or was it just over time that y'all finally all met?
It was kind of over time. I was, I think, the last one out of us three to come in.
Yeah, because we met around the same time, like the same semester, and we met through one of the days that they had a dog toy making day, and that's how the friendship kind of started. And then Abigail kind of came around, and then we kind of all decided to take on to be like officers because we all felt really like committed to the group. So.
What is a typical day working at the shelter like?
That's an Abby question.
Yeah. Volunteering is different, I guess, because you either come in and do the cleaning, or you come in later and do the dog walking or the cat, cat room cleaning throughout the day, or playing throughout the day with the cats, or talking to the customers that come in. It just kind of depends on how busy they are that day. Actually working there, you clean, you take customers, you talk to people, do adoption paperwork, all of that.
So is it just a dog and cat shelter? Do they do any other animals?
Most of the time, they are just dog and cat. They've done guinea pigs, bunnies occasionally when there's a desperate situation. They just don't really have the room for that.
All right. And then, so why did y'all start to volunteer?
I started to volunteer. I wanted to do the photography, and then I worked there after that. So I applied and got the job.
Yeah, I mean, I started volunteering there just to get, again, like the experience with it, but it's kind of fun to see like the dogs. Like every weekend was when I would go, and you know, they're in there for the majority of their time, so you know, you kind of get excited to like let them out, take them for a walk near the stadium and do things like that. And it's also kind of, I guess, good for like ourselves to kind of get outside and kind of be active, so that's another reason why.
Yeah, I agree. Especially my old roommate and I used to go together to go and walk dogs, so it'd be nice to go out and one, be in the sunshine, and then two, get to pet dogs. So I had a dog at home, but I wouldn't get to see her all the time. So getting to go to the shelter and spend time with their dogs kind of filled my dog needs.
Yeah.
So getting to spend time with my old roommate, being in the sun, and then just getting to pet the dogs, because I'm allergic to cats. So.
All right. So, do you volunteer from other shelters or just Rita B?
I'm primarily with Rita B.
I've done Montgomery County, and then I've done Reed Beat, both.
I've stuck to Rita B. Huff, but I've also done 1 or 2 back in Houston. But I usually stick more to Rita B. Huff to come.
So, how does Cats and Supportive Shelters get involved on campus?
I can talk about that one. So we pair up with different organizations. So we paired up with Agronomics and Ubuntu, and we went and volunteered with them at the garden that they have, the Bearcat Garden. And then we've also, there used to be a group on campus, it was called Cats and Canines, and we volunteered at their Much Start event. That was a fundraiser so that they could get a service animal for a veteran. So we really, and then just recently on the 17th, we just did where we brought a dog out to the Staff Senate donation drive. So we just kind of pair up with other student organizations that share like a similar goal, which is to raise awareness for the shelter. Do I need to retake that because I love like stuff?
Okay. And then, so do you get a lot of volunteers like through being involved, or are you just partnered up with these organizations?
So we do get some of their students to kind of cross over to our group. They kind of join. But as far as volunteering, Rita B is always looking for more volunteers. So if any of you know anybody, by all means, they go through volunteer orientation with Rita B, and then they're more than happy to have any more volunteers that y'all can offer.
And then, so what kind of events do y'all do? Do y'all do any events?
So after COVID, we kind of took a hit as far as like membership and as far as trying to get like restarted, and I'm sure a lot of other student organizations did too. So as far as events, we're not doing anything really big. We kind of pair up with other organizations like the community garden and like the donation drive, and then we do have monthly meetings, and then we also go to events around campus to try to build our own community. So we go to like the PC bingo, we're going to the dive-in at the RSC pool. We're gonna go with the rec center and go kayaking. So we're just trying to like get our group to get bigger, and then we can do those events.
And so if someone were to come and find you, where would they find you on campus? To volunteer, that is.
So if you want to volunteer, you should go directly to Rita B. Huff Animal Shelter and sign up for one of their volunteer orientations through Sign Up Genius. And then as far as finding us, our advisor is in the agronomics department. No, not agronomics.
The agricultural
Yes. And then if you want to find us, we have social media. That's probably the best way to reach us. So our Twitter and Instagram is SHSU KISS.
Right. And then is there an application process to join KISS, or?
No, if you DM me, I'll pretty much send you the group me link.
All right. And then do y'all have a mission statement for KISS?
Yeah, so basically our mission for KISS is to help serve, volunteer, and donate for Rita B. Huff Adoption Center in any way possible, through fundraising, through events, volunteering. I mean, volunteering is probably the main one, but we also just try to put their name out there, mostly, you know.
And then, so what activities do y'all support at the shelter?
So we walk dogs primarily, just try to get them exercise, try to get them fresh air and out of the cages. We play with the cats, we'll help clean sometimes. I know we did like a cleaning day not too long ago at the beginning of the semester. It was on Martin Luther King Day. And so we'll kind of just help wherever Rita B needs help.
And then, so how many animals are staying at Rita B right now?
That's an Abby question.
That is a question I don't know the answer to, really. They had 17 puppies recently, but I don't think they have quite as many anymore. And then dogs, they can hold up, I think, 25 or 20 or something like that. And I know all of those kennels are full right now. And then cats, it just kind of depends, because they send kittens to foster care, so they can hold more cats that way. And they can send puppies to foster care too, but they don't normally do that. They usually send kittens to foster care and then just keep all the adults at the shelter. So just kind of depends.
So what kind of donations would Rita B be looking for?
Bleach, for cleaning, and cat litter is always needed, dog leashes and dog collars, especially ones that are matching, because they send out dog collars and leashes to the new owners because most of the time they forget to bring that stuff. And then puppy food, kitten food, Purina 1 Pro Plan for the puppy food, and then Purina Kitten Chow for the kitten food. And then they also need paper towels really bad.
Paper towels.
Yes.
But so can you bring these donations straight to the shelter, or would it be easier to go through y'all?
It would probably be easier to bring them straight to the shelter.
To the shelter.
Yeah.
And then just as themselves in a box.
They'll take whatever.
All right. So. So tell me, on campus, do y'all have any plan? I know I asked if y'all have any events, but are you planning for anything in the future, maybe?
Yeah, so now that we're trying to get more students involved, we are trying to get bigger, so we're trying to coordinate with more student activities, student organizations, and then we're also trying to get in with a bank account. That way we can get like t-shirts done, we can do more fundraisers, and we can just host events where we need to buy supplies, because right now we can't.
And I hear y'all brought a special guest with us today.
A special guest star?
Yes, a superstar.
Should we bring her on?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
down.
absolutely.
Hello,
Aspen. Hi, mamas.
Oh.
She's reunited.
She's like, finally, my time
So-
to shine.
So, what's the dog's name, and what is her story?
Her name's Aspen. She's 4 years old. She came to Reedy Behalf, I think it was a year or so ago, as a stray. She was super skinny. She's not super skinny anymore. She was adopted out pretty quickly, but then she got returned because they didn't have enough time for her. It wasn't any of her problems. She was a good dog. But yeah, that's pretty much her story.
And then she is up for adoption?
Yes, she is for adoption.
What is the adoption process like?
So you'll apply to adopt her through an application process. Usually it takes about 3 days to go through the application process, depending if you apply on the weekend or not. And then after the application process, you'll come. If you get approved, you'll just fill out the adoption paperwork and take her home. Hello.
So, how do most dogs come to Rita B?
So they're a private, or not a private facility. Well, I guess, yeah, a private facility. They're a nonprofit organization, so they aren't like through animal control. They would have a waiting list, and usually they call animals off the waiting list to bring animals in. Huntsville has their own animal control that would be for like in city limits. Most of the time, Reedy Behalf tries to do outside the city limit dogs because there's no options for them, because Walker County itself doesn't have anything. But yeah.
So, what is the process for getting these out of the city limit dogs? Is it harder? Is it?
I mean, I like getting them into the shelter.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's a pretty long waiting list because Walker County has oh my gosh,
Hi, Angel.
a really bad dumping problem. So they have a long waiting list, and they just call when they get a dog adopted. They call more dogs in. So and as soon as they get space, they try to fill that space. They usually have to keep one kennel open for returns, just in case there's ever any returns, because we try to never, ever turn down one of our own dogs that needs to come back, or make them wait, because we don't want our dogs ended up dumped. But yeah.
So, is there anything else y'all would like to say before we end for the day?
Sure. Aspen is up for adoption, and look at her. She just wants so much
She's very
loving.
sweet. She's very sweet.
She just wants loving
She just wants some love.
and rubbing.
No, all right. Well, that is all the time we have for this week. Thank you for joining us and letting us get to know Kiss. Please join us next week for another episode of Sammy Spotlight.